I call the final speaker in the open debate, Colette Stevenson, up to 4 minutes. Ms Stevenson.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. And I welcome the fact that our first debate of 2025 is on tackling child poverty and inequality, the key priority of the Scottish Government. The SNP Government's draft budget marks a turning point. It offers delivery in the present and hope for the future, as well as record investment in vital public services like the National Health Service and local government. This budget will support the Government's aims to eradicate child poverty, grow the economy and tackle the climate emergency. Of course, Scotland has faced a challenging few years with the pandemic, alongside a triple whammy of Westminster-created harms: austerity, Brexit and the cost of living crisis. And for many households, challenges remain. Living standards are not good enough for far too many people, and rising energy costs continue to put pressure on people. However, Scotland's economy has shown resilience, and people in Scotland recognise the SNP's commitment to a strong social contract. This budget will deliver on sharing the wealth of our nation more fairly and ensuring economic growth benefits everyone in our country. The SNP's Scottish Government's draft budget will, if passed, ensure that we see continued investment in policies to continue tackling child poverty, including 1140 hours of early learning and childcare, concessionary travel for under 22s, employability services and social security. Of course, the game-changing Scottish Child Payment will continue, and the payment will rise with inflation from April. This means over £27 per week per eligible child in low-income families. A policy benefiting around 325,000 children in Scotland, including around 4,400 in East Kilbride. The Scottish Child Payment is one of the unique payments being delivered through the Scottish Government's social security system. Taken together, the Scottish Government's policies are estimated to be keeping 100,000 children out of poverty. But the SNP Government won't stop there. The previous Tory UK Government introduced the abhorrent two-child cap and rate clause. This policy has caused thousands of children to be living in poverty. And sadly, despite their promise of change, Keir Starmer's Labour Government is keeping this cruel measure. Instead, Scotland's SNP Government will scrap the Labour UK Government's two-child benefit cap in Scotland, lifting over 15,000 Scottish children out of poverty and ending a major driver of deprivation. In the face of Westminster inaction, Scotland's Government is taking the decisive action needed to ensure our country is fairer in the present and ready for the challenges of the future. The SNP's draft budget sets out investment right across the board, and one area which I know people in East Kilbride will be particularly pleased about is the increased investment in the Affordable Housing Supply programme. Thanks to the Scottish Government funding, we've seen many new houses and flats built right across the town in recent years. But with ongoing demand, I know people in East Kilbride will welcome the more than £767 million investment to deliver even more affordable homes. To conclude, Presiding Officer, the SNP Government's draft budget marks a turning point, delivery in the present and a hope for the future. It will support Social Security Scotland to increase the support it provides through disability benefits and the game-changing Scottish Child Payment.
Need to conclude.
This draft budget will also lay the groundwork to scrap the cruel two-child cap in Scotland. Save the Children is calling on Parliament to back.
I now call the final, first speaker in the